Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
I am not dead.
No, but he's still very, very sick and has a fever.
Very badly burned. No.
He's very badly burning.
Yeah, but I am going to sit in on this video. Geeky did a couple without me, thankfully. But yeah, so let's talk about the Hogwarts Legacy situation because Geeky called out a gaming journo, pop culture, Anthony, who's a carpet-bagging, pop culture gaming journo who's written for all the outlets.
Really doesn't like us.
Does not like us. I've been told, and I cannot verify, but I've been told that Anthony behind the scenes is kind of up to no good nickness when it comes to us and other YouTubers. That
he was mad over She-Ra.
He was mad about She-Ra, yeah. I think basically Anthony's thing is Anthony thinks he should be a full-time gaming journo or whatever, and he's mad that YouTubers are doing that, but they're taking contrary positions there.
Or using his articles to do it. But yeah. He's written for the wonderful bastions of integrity like the Mary Sue and the anime feminist. So he's going to tell women what they should think. The Gamer,
which is definitely the most anti-Hogwarts Legacy site out there. So we'll talk about this because it seems like I thought at first, because there was an article written not long after this. He went on Bender yesterday talking about how the playtime for Hogwarts Legacy has dropped tremendously on Steam since its launch a month ago.
Which is not unusual.
It's not unusual. And there was an article out here and I kept thinking, oh my God, here they come. All the gaming journos are going to be in lockstep. And shockingly, GameRant kind of shoots him down.
Good, because somebody besides me needs to. I mean, as soon as I saw his bullshit, I immediately shared it. It was like, oh, here we go. Because, this is typical for Anthony.
Yeah, so it does sound like a lot of people are trying to distort the narrative around Hogwarts Legacy. Anything that's perceived as bad news to be like, this game is a failure. But on no planet is this game failing.
No.
It's already topped Elden Ring's lifetime sales in the UK. They've defeated an absurd number of Dark Wizards, and they were kind of bragging about how much playtime there was in it. We do know that it beat Twitch's streaming record.
But they're like, but now, a month later, it's like, but that's normal. People play it, they go around to other things, they beat it, go on to something else. I mean, it's not a surprising thing.
Right, and this is, a week after Warner Brothers puts this out, 406 million hours played. And this is before the game has even hit Switch, before it has hit PS4,
4, yeah.
Before it has hit Xbox One. And these stats are only, as far as I know, coming from Steam.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Steam. They bring up, and Anthony brings up, like, oh, look, there is not that many people completed it. It's not that many hours played. There's not that many trophies earned. And I'm like, but weren't these outlets the same outlets that were telling you how to hide your playtime and your trophies and all that so no one knows you're playing it, so you don't get, called out by your friends and, canceled. And here they were all hiding that they were still playing it. Isn't that, like, do those numbers count to these? Or if it's hidden, how's it going to count?
So we'll talk a little bit about what he says, and then we're going to go out to this article. And I don't think there's anything unusual here. I think, again,
no, it's not unusual.
We have a group of people that are very, very angry that this game did as well as it did. It did better than anybody could have predicted, honestly.
Well, it did better because they themselves caused it to do better.
I do believe that is a factor. I think that gaming journos like Anthony, not him in particular, but like the Gamer, going so hard against this game, you might have actually caused a lot of normies to buy this game that normally don't buy these kinds of games. And it might be like they played it a little bit and they're like, I'm not really into it, but that's okay. I'm going to give them my money because
some people bought multiple copies, but I was like, okay.
Right. So let's talk about all this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 298, almost 300,000, almost 300,000. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do for that. Geeky was minding the store yesterday. I do have a couple of videos of hers that she did separately without me.
Yeah, they might come up after this, though. I might put this one up. You might put this one first.
Okay, so just so you know, there are probably going to be a couple videos after this with just Geeky, which she actually recorded before this.
I recorded yesterday and talked about you being sick, yes.
Yeah, so Anthony here, who, again, does not like us very much, and I'm sorry, don't watch us. After a mere 6 weeks, Hogwarts Legacy went from the only game people talked about to utterly unplayed.
I wouldn't call it utterly unplayed, dude.
It dropped 50%. That's not unplayed, though. For comparison of how drastic this is Elden Ring, and we talk about the playtime. Now, Elden Ring is a different beast altogether. Elden Ring, people play it and replay it because there are many different ways to play it.
Yeah,
and beat it.
it's apples to oranges here, dude.
Yeah, and it's also a very challenging game, so people might still be trying to beat it, or they've already beaten it, they're trying to get better at it because it is a game that encourages replay, whereas Hogwarts Legacy has a main storyline. You go through it, it's one and done, and that's it.
A big fan of Elden Ring and Squid King.
Yes, he loves those games. The Hero of Hogwarts is the achievement you get for finishing the game. Only a quarter of players who bought it played it that long. The game isn't particularly
That's not necessarily true. One, you're looking at Steam stats only. You're not looking at other stats. And also, again, Steam has it set up that you can hide those.
Yeah, and beyond that, Steam, I would say PC gamers are a different breed of gamer entirely. Console gamers are more likely, I think, to, like, PS5 player is going to be more likely to play through the game in its entirely, I think, versus a Steam player.
If it's a game that takes a while too, whatever, this or something else, people might not be able to doing it all at once. They might be like, I'm going to play it now and I might come back to it in a month. Or they get another game, play it for a while.
Yeah, that's another issue too. So this happens with me a lot because my favorite genre is JRPG. I love JRPGs, right? I love them. They're incredibly long though, and I've beaten many, many, many. I mean, I've probably beaten hundreds of JRPGs. The problem is I very seldom have the time to sit down and play them straight through. It might be like I get 5 hours into it and then real life calls for 2 weeks and I got to go do it. And then I was like, oh yeah, I got to go back to Final Fantasy whatever now because I forgot about it. And then I have to remember where I was, which is even worse.
I don't remember the last time you played one the whole way through. At least that was on a console, not your phone or something.
Yeah, I actually got to a point where I was like playing the Final Fantasy games on my phone because I had my phone with me more often than I had access to a console. I don't know. It's been a while. I don't really. Yeah, I don't. It's been a long time, but it's real life gets in the way. What are you gonna do? And so I mean, usually if I play games now, I pick something up that's pretty quick to play or a sandbox game.
And this was a quicker game anyway.
So I love this comment. They'll never admit the game they spent weeks defending was actually boring. It doesn't really matter if it's boring or not. The game sold very, very well, and gaming journos like Anthony, like The Gamer, actually did nothing but encourage people to buy the game and protest. Some of these are pretty savage, some of these comments. This guy down here, nearly all the websites you listed, that would be the ones that Anthony has written for, aren't guaranteed to be around in another 5 years, so I'd find more sustainable work that doesn't include trashing or generalizing complete strangers in order to work through your deep-seated mommy and daddy issues. This person, Tori Barron, and I'll lead into the article. This is too common for long games. I was stunned to see how low the completion rate was for Witcher 3. Nobody would mistake that for a failure. The point is how many folks bought Hogwarts Legacy, and at full price, it was an unexpected big hit.
You're not allowed to talk sense, Tori. That just makes you hate-filled.
So I thought the narrative was going to be, look how many people are ditching Hogwarts Legacy. We won, guys. We're going to win in the end. We won. And that's not actually what's going on here. GameRant is, I believe, low-key debating with Anthony without calling him out. Because this tweet got some mileage, and now all of a sudden they put a whole article up, and he probably would have discussed it in the back channel on the Discord or company Slack or whatever, because he writes for ScreenRant too. Hogwarts Legacy player count has dropped dramatically. Okay, Hogwarts Legacy was a huge success on Steam at launch, but it seems most people are moving on to other games now.
Which is not unusual.
That's what they said. Yeah, we actually thought it was going to go a different way. We started reading it and we're like, wait a second. They're actually agreeing that this is very, very normal for this kind of game.
Most of the people in the comments on Twitter were saying that as well.
Hogwarts Legacy average player count has dropped by a whopping 47% in the last month, with its peak concurrent players on Steam in the last 24 hours sitting at around 98,000 compared to 500,000 players it had at launch. This may be surprising to some considering how successful Hogwarts Legacy has been since launch, but it actually makes sense when considering what kind of game the new Harry Potter action RPG is.
Yes.
It debuted to massive sales success, breaking records and quickly becoming the best-selling game. Huge failure here. The best-selling game of 2023.
Right, clearly bombed.
I know, right? Hogwarts Legacy also enjoyed mostly positive reviews from critics and managed to crack some Twitch viewership records. Again, huge failure. By nearly all metrics, Hogwarts Legacy has been a huge hit for the industry, though some fans may be wondering how the game's concurrent player count has dropped so dramatically since launch. They tell you. The thing is, Hogwarts Legacy is a single-player game, which means most people play it when they get it and then move on to other things. It's not a live service game like Call of Duty or Fortnite. It's designed for people to complete it and then move on to other things. There's certainly nothing wrong with that approach. In fact, many people would prefer games to have a definitive ending instead of being dragged out. Yeah, I agree with that. Because Hogwarts Legacy is purely a single-player game, it's really no surprise that its concurrent player count has dropped so much since launch. In fact, fans can't expect it to drop more in the weeks ahead, though there will be some opportunities for the game to rise back up through the Steam charts. Again, this is
Steam only.
That's Steam only. Remember, it broke a lot of records on PS5, and console gamers are a different breed. They don't play online games as much, I don't think, as PC gamers. PC gamers tend to be the ones that are, definitely playing the online games, MMORPGs, all this other stuff. And, this kind of a game is more of a console thing. So
yeah, they mentioned that. They said well, if the DLC comes out, people will come back. But they said this isn't telling the whole story. The data only applies to Steam version of Hogwarts Legacy, which we've mentioned.
Yes.
We don't know what the player counts on Xbox, PlayStation, and all that. They might not have dropped as much. We don't know. And then we still haven't got they even said we still haven't got the big ones for Switch or PlayStation 4. People have that, not the PlayStation 5 because they couldn't get one, etc.
Yeah, so we're talking. The fact that the game sold as well as it did just on Steam, PS5, that's amazing, and it hasn't even hit the consoles that most people are playing on.
Right.
And
so it's very misleading.
It's very misleading.
Imagine that Anthony's given some misleading information. You would never have guessed that.
I just think it's really interesting that
from a certain point of view, bitch.
From a certain point of view, that GameRant is even coming out, and they're not calling him out specifically.
But they're talking about.
They're like, you're dead. He was the only one that was talking about it. And they're like, you're dead wrong, dude. You're dead wrong. The game is performing as you would expect for a single player RPG on PC to perform, and we do not have the metrics for the other consoles, but the game has broken all kinds of records. And I'm sorry, there's no way you can spin this that you guys won. Like, you failed. You failed. The game's a huge hit, and it'll definitely get a sequel. It'll probably get a TV show. And
they said flat out they're doubling down on Harry Potter now based on the reaction and response to Hogwarts Legacy. They're flat out saying that.
I want to show you the ripple effect. If you go to Vudu and you go to the most watched movies this week, what are you noticing here? A lot of Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, a lot of trolls too.
A lot of trolls too, but a lot of Harry Potter movies, and they had pretty much fallen off a cliff because this game has actually reignited interest in Harry Potter all the way around. Mm-hmm. Not just Hogwarts Legacy, but like people are gonna buy more books now. They're gonna watch the movies again. They're gonna buy the movies again. They're gonna check out so.
Well, I'm looking at this and thinking bad news for Disney because I'm seeing a lot of other movies that other like Shrek and Minions and stuff like that. That's their competition.
Yeah, pretty much everything but Disney, but they kind of did that themselves because a lot of their stuff is available on Disney Plus. I think people aren't buying it now, So
that's true.
But it is interesting. Like the Harry Potter movies are making kind of a comeback in digital, and I have to think that other Harry Potter stuff is going to sell better too. And just wait till it hits Switch and PS4, and that's what most kids have, probably a Switch and a PS4, and then it's going to blow up.
Until recently, PS5 has been really hard to get.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yes.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye, Anthony.